welcome into the first that we've ever had, the Better and Green Academy Awards. Welcome in, my friends. Thank you guys for watching. We're breaking down every category for the Oscars. If you guys have been with us from the very start, I gave 6 picks 2 years ago. Last year, I said, no, that's not enough. So I gave you every pick for every category. I said, no, that's not enough. I gave you that same article this year, and now I'm giving you a live stream. And not only am I giving you a live, I brought on somebody special. And now I can't just throw it into them. I need to give them a little bit of an introduction. They have not been in the Better and Green universe before. They have reviewed 216 movies on Letterboxd. They are a creative writer. They are astute, a scholar, a philosopher, some may say, an intellectual. Some may even say an Oscar party enthusiast. I have MSB with me. I don't know if you want me to use your first name. I don't know how you are with internet things, but welcome in.
Thank you so much. I am so excited here to be amongst the Better and Green community. I feel like my life has been leading up to this. So this is a huge moment for me. I'm excited to be here. I do watch a lot of movies. But am like kind of new to the Oscar scene. I feel like last year is when I really like dove into Oscars party, but last year was kind of like Oppenheimer sweep. Yes. So I feel like this year we're it's a bit more of a toss-up. So we've got to put a little bit more energy into what we're thinking about. So I'm excited to hear your thoughts and also learn a little bit more about what goes into a good pick here for an Academy Award.
Absolutely. And we do have a chat window open up for you guys to join in the conversation. Give us your guys' picks. Also, when I did my article last year, I had to consult with you. I was like, what do you think about this pick? So you have been really part of the Oscars betting atmosphere for 2 years, whether you know it or not. Wow. Now you're fully in it now. There's no getting out. You can shut your computer down, but besides that, there's no getting out of this.
We're in too deep.
We're in too deep. I'm excited to talk about these movies. I also went through painstakingly, screenshotted every Academy Award listed from the Academy Award website, so I can flash those up on screen while we're talking about them. It's 23. Having to go in and screenshot and then add it into OBS. Anybody that knows the back end of this up, it's just a pain. But Mary, any questions before we get started?
Yes. So I was reading the article that you published.
Thank you.
Incredible work. Just the analysis going into this is top tier on the website. Plug fans, go check it out. And I'm curious about the numbers. You were giving some like plus and minus numbers. What goes into that? And I assume it's like in the betting world.
You're right.
That means something. So what do those numbers mean, and how are you finding those?
No, I'm actually really glad that you asked that, because there's not a lot of overlap between the sports betting world and the Oscars world. You got the art type and the sport type. We're bringing them together here. It's a whole happy family. So I'm getting those from DraftKings. And if anybody wants $150 of free bets, go to bettergreen.com. Check out the link if it is legal in your state. But I'm actually on Odds Checker. Has all of them listed really easily. If I don't, DraftKings gets mad at me. If I don't like stay on the screen interacting with it, it logs me out. I have to go back in. It's a whole pain in the ass. So I'm on Odds Checker right now to get them. What those numbers mean is it's how much money. The easiest way is thinking about $100. How you're going to win $100. So a minus 190, any minus number, that's the favorite. And so most of the time, there's going to be one minus and one positive. In sports, sometimes there's 2 minuses, but if there's 2 minuses, they're going to be very close together, like minus 110, meaning you have to spend $110 to win 100. Oh. So right now, Anora minus 190 is the favorite for Best Picture. You have to spend $190 to win 100. Brutalist is plus 650. So you bet $100, you win 650. So the higher the plus number, the more money you win on a bet. And once again, like $1, it's all equivalent. So $1 you'd win $6.50. But the easiest way to do the math is just the straight 100.
Okay, very cool. So when it's negative, it's actually more likely to win.
Yes.
Like the more negative a number is. Okay, interesting.
Yes, the more money you have to put on it to break out even. So like a lot of people, they'll say like minus 140 is as high as they'll go. So anything worse than that, I mean, you're having to spend $150 to win 100. You know, it's just a losing battle once you get there. I just did our UFC show. One guy's like minus 550. So those are just horrible odds.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So you're spending every $5.50, you're winning $1. So it's just bad math.
Okay. So when your suggestions, you have some that are, you have the plus. Would you recommend, like, I guess it's up to how lucky you're feeling. If you want to take the risk.
Yes. One of our big things that, like we say, is it's a sprinkle. Just sprinkle a little bit. Those big plus money, I'm going to throw $10 on it. And if it wins big. If it doesn't, I'm out $10. So there's some, which we'll get into, that it's like, you know what? I will take the chance on it. There's other ones that I'm just like, you know what? There's no way this one loses. I'm just going to eat it and just take the high favorite.
Yes.
Which was like Oppenheimer last year.
Right.
That was one of my big things I wrote about on our Discord, is you couldn't bet Oppenheimer last year. Because like it was the best picture by minus 1,100. You're betting over 1K to win $100. Like, it's comical. So you had to parlay everything. So you could do, best actor, best supporting actor, best picture, best, I think they won film editing, and then best director. You could parlay all those together. So you take those odds, and they're saying, okay, all 5 have to win. So you could get it down to, which is horrible, like minus 200. Number is still terrible. You probably wouldn't bet it, but it's a way that you can get those numbers.
Whoa. So this year is actually maybe a little better for like the betting game, because nothing is for sure really much bigger. I don't think in any category.
No, it's much bigger. We'll talk about all of those. It's very interesting. I'm glad you read the article, so you can kind of you have an idea going in. I do the favorite, the value, and then the dark horse pick. I'm telling you, that article takes probably over a month to make, and so those odds change crazy. And they did last year too. I wrote a whole long article about how I thought, and Poor Things, what's her name?
Emma Stone.
Yes. Yeah, how she would be the winner. And like she was like plus 230. I'm like, man, you're gonna win a lot of money on this chick if you bet on her. By the time the article comes out, she's minus 140. You lost all the value.
Wow.
It's horrible. So we saw that a couple times. So I had to keep going back and changing my article. And some of the picks I initially had actually ended up not even making it.
Dang. Do you know what DraftKings is basing their numbers on?
That's hard. I don't know that. And especially, like, it's interesting because they vote the week leading up to the Oscars. That's what I've read. So how are they getting these numbers? Part of it is like public perception, but then the other part of me is like, how can you do it based on public perception? Like The Brutalist was the favorite to win Best Picture for forever, and then it comes out on streaming, and now it's plus 650, and then Nora is minus 190. Those two flipped.
Interesting.
It's so weird, and like that's such a great question because I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like some sort of algorithm.
Yeah, I feel like is this the best way to get values? Because sports is so unknown, and then this stuff you can really use historical data, which we'll get into later for picks. Or does Vegas have some inside information on the voters?
Whoa, they're like, after they vote, they tell you.
Like I mean, they probably pay, because how else do they know? There are probably a couple crooked guys out there, telling the books. Yeah, and like, okay, how do you know? I think it's 1,000 people that vote, right? I believe.
Is it? So I know I've seen the number of like there's 10,000 people
10,000
in the academy. I think, but it might be not all of them vote. That's
I
also just a number I'm pulling out of my head right
I
now.
remember there's a 1 and a lot of zeros. So
Yeah.
either one of those two numbers we just gave out are accurate. Only
Somewhere
a
in
9,000
between.
person difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, somewhere in between. I mean, how many people would they have to pay off of that to have a good idea? You know, you pay
Yeah.
off maybe 2,000 of them, and then you have a 1/5 sample size.
Feels statistically significant.
It does. It does. And that's more than you're going to get anywhere else, right?
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
they're like, this team sucks and this team's really good. That there's going to be no odds to bet, because it's just going to be, you can either throw your money away or you can put a whole bunch of money down and win nothing back.
Yeah. That'll be next year. We'll hack into DraftKings.
Yes. Yeah, I like that.
Figure it out.
Let's see. You ready to get in some of the pictures or some
All
of the
right.
picks for this year?
Let's do it.
Dude, let's go. 23 categories. This might be a 3-hour long live. We're about to find
Perfect.
out.
Everyone buckle in.
Grab your popcorn, right?
There you go. Popcorn, some soda.
Let's talk about best picture. So we have Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, A Complete Unknown, Emilia Perez, Wicked, Dune Part 2, and I'm Still Here. I'm Still Here and Dune Part 2 are both plus 10,000. The number of the Academy Award voters that we just agreed on. I said earlier, Anora minus 190, Brutalist plus 650, Conclave plus 1,000. So those are the three favorites to win.
Okay.
Do you feel any of the other ones have a chance?
I don't think so. And I am basing it off of the other awards that have been leading up to this. I also wanted to preface, if I were the only voting member of the Academy this year, Dune 2 would win all of the awards. So
I knew
everyone just know that going into it. So I'm trying to temper what my pick would be with some external research.
That's hard to do.
So I know, especially when my opinion is correct.
Right.
So just looking at the other movies that have been winning, it's The Substance, Conclave, Emilia Perez, and The Brutalist, and Anora. And like the others, like you just really haven't seen like people talking about it. I think part of it too is like they're not in theaters either, or not like broadly released, which is tough. Like
that was one of the things I was talking to you about, is that I had this one really sick day and they were like, you're too sick, you can't come to work the next day. The next day I was feeling a little better. So I tried to go to the movie theaters to see The Brutalist. The closest one, like 50 minutes. It's unreal. It's showing in 2 theaters in the St. Louis. And I don't understand that. I really don't understand why some of these are so like released in just such a small number of theaters. Then I don't even remember Anora in theaters. I watched it streaming. Did you remember it in theaters at all?
No, I remember seeing trailers for it and I was like, oh, I want to see that. And then I kept waiting and it was just never, and I'm like, what? And then they're like, oh, and it's streaming now. And it's like, when was it? So yeah, it's hard to keep up. Sometimes they just like bypass you.
Yes.
And some of these are hard to like, they're not even really streaming, or like you have to buy it. So
because I think that A Complete Unknown just came out like super recently.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, and it's still like you have to rent it or buy it. Like it's not like on a streaming service.
Right.
And uphill battle here to be educated on movies.
Yes, and they're like $20 rentals too.
Yeah,
it's insane. You can't do that for everyone.
I agree.
I feel like this is a 2-horse race between Anora and The Brutalist. If you did read my article already, you know I am on The Brutalist plus 650. I love those odds. I just think like the cinematography, everything about that movie just seems like such Oscar bait. Like it just seems it's exactly what the Academy wants.
Yep. I totally agree. I was watching it and I'm like, this is, it's like the emotions, it's very cool topic, very intellectual, beautiful shots. It's screaming Oscar bait.
Yes, but you and one of the things I do really like about you too is that you like the weird movies too. Like you're okay just like watching a movie and enjoying it for what it is. And that's what A24 is. And I was kind of surprised to see A24 make this movie. It didn't feel as in line with some of the other stuff that they've done.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Personally, like I liked it, but it wasn't my favorite movie. I thought Oppenheimer was much better. I'm kind of surprised to see them as such underdogs here to Anora, but
Yeah.
oh
So since I'm trying to get into the mind of the Academy over here,
yes,
I won't pick Dune 2, even though I think it should get it. Dune 2 is being snubbed, so that is the hill I'm gonna die on. But
what's his name? What do they call him?
Paul Atreides, or at least an Al-Gaib. The
Okay,
Messiah.
That's what I should have. That's what I should have introed you with. I have at least the Al Gaib here.
He who was promised.
Yes. Yes.
So putting that aside, what I love is that The Substance is nominated. That is so cool to see. I don't think The Substance is gonna win. I would love it if it did, but I'm a huge horror fan, and so it's so cool to see horror being recognized this award season, and like even on the slate. So
Right.
that has been very, very cool. I am gonna say, and I think you said the like odds, and I didn't catch it. My pick is Conclave.
Conclave plus 1,000.
I think it's been winning in other awards. I think I would try to pull a couple, and I didn't double check these, but I think it won BAFTA and the SAG awards, and for best picture.
Wow.
And I loved it. I thought it was very cool. I watched the movie once, and then I watched a live line reading of. I don't know if you saw it. There, a bunch of comedians got together and like read the movie out loud and kind of acted it out.
No.
And that was very fun. So I've kind of watched it twice, and it was great both times. So I'm rooting for that one. I think it was, and it's pretty short. I think it's like hour and a half. It's like it tells a story. It's like tightly woven.
Yeah.
I was on the edge of my seat, and it's very beautiful to look at.
It is. It is. Yeah, there's not like some of these other ones, including your Dune Part 2. There's a little bit of dicking around at times.
Whoa. I don't know what you mean about that.
We get a little controversial here at times.
Chat, everyone, get in the chat.
Yeah, roast this man. You want to get to director?
All right, let's do directing.
All right. So best director, we have Sean Baker of Anora, Brady Corbett for The Brutalists, A Complete Unknowns, James Mangold, Jacques Audiard, I think is how you say that, Emilia Perez, and then Coralie Fargier from The Substance. Yeah. Which way are you leaning here?
I think if it was me, I'd pick The Substance. But if I'm trying to guess, I think The Brutalist.
Brutalist?
Yeah.
That's who I have too. He's the second favorite at plus 145. Right now, Sean Baker from Anora at minus 1. We're seeing Anora leading a lot of these categories.
Wow. Do you think there's room like from today until Sunday? Will those numbers change much?
They probably will, and especially with it being this close and it being like a done deal before everybody walks in the door, like everybody knows who's gonna win, or somebody knows.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot more tipping off, and so I think right before like day of, maybe we might see huge drastic sweeps. And if you do start seeing that, I think get on before it gets too high to bet it, because they know something.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch.
Yeah, keep an eye out.
So we double the brutalist Brady Corbett here.
Yeah.
I think that's a good segue into leading actor. We've got Adrian Brody from The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet in A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo in Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes in Conclave, and Sebastian Stan in Apprentice. I don't know how many of the movies you were able to watch, but The Apprentice and is it A Different Man? There's like a couple that are like short and have the word man in it. And I think there's Better Man and A Different Man.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think Better Man's the monkey one that's horrible, and then A Different Man, he's like disfigured.
Sebastian. Yeah.
Yes.
Hard
And
to keep track.
Sebastian Stan's in that one too. So like hell of a year for him. But
Yeah.
I don't think he wins. I feel like you have to be on one side this year. Like there was the Oppenheimer side, which was the obvious winning side, which was the side I was on.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like there's the brutalist side and the North. And so I am going to be on Adrian Brody. Who do you feel?
Okay. I was thinking Timothy Chalamet,
Okay.
A Complete Unknown. Not necessarily because A Complete Unknown was his best work, but because they all feel bad that he wasn't nominated for Dune 2.
I knew it. I was going to say, I was the other person I was forgetting. Both of them killed it this
year.
Yeah. Timothy Chalamet plus 185. The second highest favorite, Adrian Brody minus 167. And then you have Ralph Fiennes from Conclave plus 2,600. We're seeing this as like a
Wow. What were, it was, who were the two that are?
Two favorite are Adrian Brody from The Brutalist and Timothy Chalamet, completely.
Okay.
Our boys going to head.
Yeah, here we go.
They're going to get a little competitive now.
Now we got some skin in the game.
Yes.
Now it's personal.
Yeah. And if you guys are interested, there we do have on our website, bettergreen.com, a printable sheet that has like all of the categories and all the nominations. You can go through and check it. I believe it's by SiriusXM. We link the website on our website. Go check it out, print it out so you guys can play along too. But I'm going to remember that. So I'll be shit talking if you lose.
Perfect. Me too.
All right. How about supporting actor? So we have Yura Borisov from Anora, Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain, Edward Norton in A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce in The Brutalist, Jeremy Strong in The Apprentice. I feel like I already know that we're going to disagree. Because I have a very... You probably know what movie I'm going to talk about. I was. Are
you going Brutalist again?
I am going The Brutalist again. I am going Guy Pearce. But I do... Jeremy Strong from The Apprentice plays The Apprentice is about Trump and like how he went from basically being like his daddy's fetch boy to being who he is today. And his dad's in trouble, so he gets with some notoriously like evil lawyer and adopts this dude's personality. And it's basically how he becomes who he is. It's really good, but I feel like Jeremy Strong had to nail that role because that's who Trump becomes.
Whoa. So he's kind of the blueprint.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's really good. This is actually one of my favorite movies of this year's Oscars. And I did not expect it. I didn't even see a commercial for it.
Interesting. I still need to watch that one.
It's a good one. So I'm going to say it. Kieran Culkin is the biggest favorite at minus 1,667. I think that's who you're going with.
Yep, that's
no.
Read like a book.
All right. Why you go with Kieran?
I thought his performance was very good. It's a great performance. Almost anytime he's on the screen, I am stressed. So I don't know that I like enjoy watching him, but he does a really good job. And I think he has won a couple of awards this award season. So it's like, I think it feels like he's got the trend heading his way. The awards love him. He was winning everything with Succession too.
Yeah.
So, and it's interesting we have a Succession header here. Jeremy Strong and Kieran Culkin. I didn't
Oh
realize
yeah,
that.
yeah, you're right.
So they're back again.
See, like I didn't like A Real Pain.
I
Personally,
think it's okay.
I know it, and part of it is I just felt like because I kind of like I like Jesse Eisenberg, but I felt like every time they would like have that interaction, I kept what like, and this is probably on me. I wanted to see the big moment,
Yeah.
and I just felt like they would keep it really surface level. Like I'm thinking of when they were like smoking on the
The
roof.
rooftop. Yeah.
Yes, and they're talking, and he's just like, "Oh, like what are you gonna do?" And he's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna like, and like stuff like
Yeah.
that." And then I just was like waiting for that moment. That's like the gut punch, and I never got that. And so maybe I'm just pissed off because DraftKings is saying you're right. There's a lot of people giving awards saying you're right. So this might just be a me thing because Kieran Culkin is a heavy favorite, and I'm on the guy that's the fourth worst odds. So
Hey, that's where the thrill comes in.
gotta ride that lightning sometime.
Yeah.
How about let's talk about the ladies? Let's talk
Right.
about the lead actress, Cynthia Erivo in Wicked, Carla Sofia Gasson from Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison in Honora, Demi Moore in The Substance, and Fernanda Torres. I'm still here. Shout out to your mom and the Demi Moore love.
Yeah.
Who are you on here? I feel like this has a lot of good entries here. I feel
I
like
agree.
all of them have.
Yeah. I think they're all in wildly different movies and like
Yes.
playing different kinds of roles and hitting different emotions. So very cool lineup. It'll be interesting. I don't know. I'm curious to see like because it's one of those where it's like, I don't think I'd be mad about anyone on this list, which is cool. My pick is Demi Moore, The Substance.
Okay.
I feel like sometimes with these awards, it's not necessarily like you're getting the award for the movie, but if you haven't gotten an award so far, it's like kind of for your career.
And
I can see
Fraser
that.
and like The Whale.
Yeah. And I think who's that? Leonardo DiCaprio. Like he got an award where everyone was like, that wasn't his best movie, but that's the one he got an Oscar for.
Yeah.
But it was like because everyone was like, why doesn't Leonardo DiCaprio have an Oscar yet?
Right.
So
But Demi hasn't won yet.
Yeah, I think this is the first season of awards that she is being nominated for things. So I think that could be, and I also think, well, The Substance was a really cool movie.
It was.
I don't know if it's like, is it an Oscar movie? It's just kind of stunning that it's in the mix.
I
So
agree.
it's like, I guess, like, yeah, maybe.
Out of all the ones though, like I feel like it sticks out so much. I don't know if it's an Oscars movie, but like it was good. It's probably one of the ones I enjoyed the most. And it just is so different than a lot of the stuff that we saw this year. And it's just the take on like beauty and aging and like not being okay with yourself. I feel like it was really interesting and hasn't been before.
Yeah, I agree. It's cool to see because there's a lot of horror movies that I feel like, oh, this should have been in the like Oscars discussion, and they just aren't. And then this comes in, and it's like it's kind of over the top. It's almost kind of funny sometimes.
Yes.
And it's gross. Like there's a lot of parts that it's just like this is disgusting to look at, and like none of those are things that I think about like, oh, Oscars. But I mean, it's evoking emotions. It's making you interested and think. So it's like, why not? Like, that maybe that is excellence in filmmaking.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I like it. DraftKings likes it too. Minus 240. She is the favorite to win.
Okay.
I'm a little surprised here. So I'm going to go with Mikey Madison from Honora. She's plus 200. She's the underdog. How can Honora be the favorite best picture, be the favorite best director, the lead role not be the favorite?
That's wild because people love her in that. It's like she's like, I think often noted as like the best part of the movie.
Oh,
So
landslide.
that is very shocking.
Right? There's something going on there. So that might need to be explored a little bit more. And I wonder if I go back to my article. No, I think Demi Moore was still the favorite. These odds are weird. That's an odd little thing that I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get over.
Chat, we're suspicious.
Yeah. Chat, drop a comment down there. Let us know how sus is it.
Scale of 1 to 10. How sus is this right now?
10. 10. It's gotta be 10. Let's talk about some more ladies. The best supporting actress. That pulled up for us. Monica Barbaro in A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande, Wicked, Felicity Jones in The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini in Conclave, and Zoe Saldana in Amelia Perez. I have been on Zoe Saldana this entire time. She's been a big favorite, minus 1,001. Still going to be on her. I could see Ariana Grande winning. Like, I didn't expect her to be so funny. And like after that, I watched a bunch of like shorts and stuff of Ariana Grande, like SNL. Man, I was just sleeping on her. Yes. I did not realize how funny she is. So I think she can win, but I would be really surprised if anybody besides those two do.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it likely is going to be Zoe Saldana. I think like she's been winning everything so far. I do think she did well. I was not a big fan of Amelia Perez,
Thank you
the
for
movie.
Saying it. Thank you for saying it with your chest.
Yeah. It was, I think they could have picked like one plot point that they had and made a musical about that. But they had like 4 really big things going on. So, yeah, if I was editing, I would have suggested that. But I think my pick, I don't know if she's going to win, but my vote would be for Ariana Grande. Just like you said, she's so like, I had never seen Wicked either going to the movie.
Me neither.
She was so funny. I was like, anytime she was on screen, I was laughing. And it's like, yeah, she was amazing.
Yeah, we saw it in theaters and then ended up buying it, I think, the first day it came out.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah, no, my wife loved it, man. So I'm like, and I'm trying to be all tough. I'm like, yeah, if you really want to watch it again, we can watch it again.
Twist my arm.
Yeah. Right. No, she was great. And I really think, which is so funny. Like, can we just talk about Amelia Perez for a second? Like, just a slight tangent.
Yeah, we need to.
How high are people? Like, okay, the more you look into it, it's a French musical about Mexico, and it's a drug lord. All right, but he becomes a woman. They're like, that's a big change. And then they're like, and he abandons his family. Okay. And then he completely changes, and then he starts rescuing people. He's the one that saves a lot of people. And then there's the whole, like, his wife in love with this other dude, and then ends up... spoiler alert. I should have said this to start the show. Sorry. Sorry. Ends up... And also, we're on YouTube, so I have to be careful how I say some things, but ends up not aliving all of them at the end. A weird movie. It was just really weird. And then the whole scene with... I'm blanking on her name. Well, she's like an actual singer. The wife.
Oh, what is her name?
I keep thinking Ariana Grande. I'm like, not Ariana Grande. Very different.
She's in Only Murders in the Building. She's Disney star.
Yes.
She has a name.
But her whole like singing in the place with her lover, and it's like all psychedelic and stuff. Yes. Bad. Just bad. Bad cinematography, bad music, bad everything. I hate it. I can't believe that song is in the running for best original song of the year. That just blows my mind.
That's like, part of me feels like when I was watching it, I was like, am I just missing something in the like translation? Like, is this a cultural like that is not resonating with me?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like, you think about, you're at the end of the movie and you're like, oh my gosh, like things are blowing up right now. She's been mailed a box of fingers.
Yeah.
And then you think back to she's a lawyer. It's like, why is she even involved in this?
Right.
Yeah. So
complete abandon of
crazy.
character, dude.
Yeah.
She's the only good part of that show, and even at
Yes.
some points, you're like your skin's crawling.
Yeah, I agree. But I was looking up her Zoe Saldana while I was watching the movie, and I was like, I didn't realize that she like grew up, or Spanish was her first language, and
really?
English is her second language, or tertiary. Like,
Yeah,
she learned that later, and I was like, I had no idea. And like,
I always assumed she was American.
yeah, she I think is from the Dominican Republic.
Really?
I think that's just me trying to remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I'm like, oh, like cool for her to be able to be in this role that maybe is closer to home. But
right.
I wish it'd been a little different too.
Yes. And how often do you see musicals in the Academy Award? And this year we have 2, and it's just like such a stark contrast, because it's like everything in Wicked just kind of felt. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but it felt in place. And then in Emilia Perez, she's like typing, doing lawyer work at like a kebab stand, and people are dancing and singing around her, and it just felt really weird.
Yeah, it felt almost kind of ominous. I don't know. There were a lot of tones where it's like at the beginning, I'm like, this feels like a horror movie. Like, I don't think it is, but it's like the people like moving in, like synchronized moving behind her in the dark. I'm like, this is scary.
I'm glad that we can both agree. And that has the most nominations this year.
Yes.
I feel like somebody paid somebody. That's nuts.
Yeah, I wonder, because that is Netflix, I think. So I wonder if it's like Netflix trying to pad some pockets over there.
Yeah. All right, Zoe Saldana for us for actress and supporting role. That is what you said, right? I'm not
I think she's gonna win, but if I were casting my vote, Ariana Grande.
And my thing with, I'm gonna be honest, I did not watch A Complete Unknown. I watched the trailer like 3 times to get the vibe, but Conclave just didn't have enough of Isabella Rossellini, like to be a supporting actress. You never see her. And then I kind of said tongue in cheek in The Brutalist, I'm like, you don't even see her till after the intermission.
Yes.
The middle of the movie.
Yeah.
And then even then, you just get a supporting role in half of a movie.
Yeah.
And then I just don't think it was enough to beat out Ariana. It just doesn't seem like possible.
I agree. Yeah. I feel like Ariana Grande was just like so much of a presence in the film. It's like you take her out, the film is like, it's lost like half of its sparkle. But you take out, I don't know what Felicity Jones's character's name was, but
she's the wife in the wheelchair.
The wife, yeah. I don't know. I think I also, I don't know that I understood The Brutalist. I was like, I don't understand architecture. This wasn't for me.
The 3.5 architecture movie didn't land well.
Some part of this went over my head.
And it wasn't the roof. And a case for Ariana Grande, I feel like you could even switch her and Cynthia Erivo. Like if you said Cynthia Erivo was the supporting role and Ariana Grande was the lead role, like I feel like they were just such 1A, 1B. It's hard to say one's a support.
Yeah, they're very much the two sides of a coin, like playing off of each other. Yeah, I could see Wicked nominations. This has been the discussion with Dune 2 also, is because there's going to be a part 2, they might not win as many awards because people are waiting for like the finale. And that's what people are saying. They're waiting for Dune Messiah before Dune gets all its well-deserved awards.
So. Yeah.
We'll wait and see.
And you know what? We also have to wait to see your review on Wicked, because you will not finish it until the second one comes out. You said it is pending.
Yep.
You were surprised I read so many of your reviews.
Yeah, very. It feels very informed here.
I'm trying Sean Evans on Hot Ones, man. I'm trying to pull up some
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh my god, how far did you have to dig for that?
Yeah. Good for you guys. If you do look for our letterbox, it's not that far deep. She just posted them.
Yeah, follow me on Letterboxd.
Let's talk about best film editing, also known as like the most boring award at the Oscars. But you know what?
Boom.
It's an interesting. It's a very important role.
Yeah.
One that doesn't get enjoyed. Like I do a lot of editing for Better and Green. Does
Yeah.
take a lot of time. It is where a lot of the magic is. So we have Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. Once again, I don't see how Amelia Perez would win. I thought the film. Once again, I gotta just keep shit on Amelia Perez. I apologize, but I said it in the article. What is that editing? Like they couldn't figure out how to like string two things together. So like he dies, and then have to like jump cut to Sweden, and she's like no, and then you jump cut to somewhere else. Like that's lazy. Just don't include that.
Yes.
Either don't include that, or like I don't know. The editing just felt so sloppy to me.
I agree. Yeah. Or like I was thinking of like, why is she finding out on the television? Like the police probably should have been calling her. Not that we're trying to be like factually based in the musical, but I don't know.
Dude, good point. You're right. It was on the TV. Oh my god. Yeah, that's. I could just rag on that movie all day. Conclave, your favorite, is actually the favorite. Minus 150. Anora plus 220. Brutalist plus 750.
Whoa. My pick for this was Wicked. Just because I feel like there's so much that they're stringing together. And I think I don't fully appreciate like what it means to have best film editing.
Yeah.
But I feel like with I don't know, they just have so many different elements of song and spoken word and like makeup and VFX. And like I just feel like there's a lot that they're piecing together. So
you're absolutely right. That's plus 2,900.
There you go.
Be a good payout. I think I picked Anora. Actually, I think I picked the Brutalist. Because I saw something like, go back and read the article for exact numbers, but I think as like best picture and best editing are like they both win for the same movie like 76% of the time.
Oh, so it's a good predictor.
It is a good predictor. So and you know, I picked the Brutalist, I think, but now I'm thinking about it, I kind of feel like I like Anora. Like I liked the lighting and stuff, and I just feel like they did
I get behind that. I feel like the pacing of Anora was good.
I agree. And like the pace of the Brutalist was painful, wasn't it? Like you're making a 3.5 hour
brutal.
It was brutal. It was brutal. You can cut probably an hour and a half of that, dude.
Yeah. I did love that they have an intermission. I think we need to start bringing back the intermission. If we're going to have 3-hour movies, we need intermissions.
I like that. That is kind of a hot take, though.
Sometimes you got to use the bathroom, and sometimes art has to wait.
Subtitles or no subtitles?
Pro subtitles. Huge subtitle fan. You don't like a subtitle?
No, I am with you. I'm with you, but you just got a lot of people that are angry.
Chat, I'll fight you.
There's a lot of anti-subtitle people. I can't hear shit, so I love subtitles.
Yeah, and it's like sometimes the subtitles give you a little sneak preview of what's about to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And have you noticed too, like, I noticed it especially when I was watching that it gives you like additional dialogue that you can't hear.
Yeah, that's in the background.
Yeah. Like, I would not even heard that.
We're getting bonus content over here.
Getting some behind the scenes mid-movie.
Yeah. Director's commentary, but in the subtitles.
Yes. Let's talk about live action shorts.
Right.
Let's see. That one didn't want to open. Okay, there we go. Live action shorts. Aline, Anuha, I'm Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. Now, some of these that we're going to get into, especially now, are so hard to find and
Oh, wow.
then are almost all behind paywall. So just a heads up for most people. I don't know how many you were able to see. I saw all except for The Last Ranger.
Hell yeah. I haven't seen any of these. I last year I went to a couple. There were like showing in the theaters. They had like a I don't know, like a group of short films. So I
Okay.
got to go see some, but this year falling behind. What are you like outside of like what did you think of the short films overall?
I'll let you
Fun?
know. I currently live in an art mecca right now, so it's very easy to access all these films.
Yeah.
You know where I live very well. So I didn't see The Last Ranger. That's about like basically people trying to keep like the hunters from killing elephants, taking their
Oh
what's the
yeah.
word? Not is it
Tusk.
tusks? It is tusks.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, I'm like I feel like tusk was like walrus, but yes, elephant tusks.
I
It's
think
still
that they
tusk.
also have it, yeah.
They also have them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like about that. I couldn't find where it is, and you know, a lot of these entries too are like geographical based. Like you're not able to watch them based on where you live.
Interesting.
Which, yeah, I thought that kind of sucks for somebody trying to do research. But
Yeah.
Anuha is on Netflix. That is about two Indian girls. Like they're two sisters that live together. I don't know where the parents are, but they're basically slumming it. They work in a sweatshop, and the older sister is trying to like not steals, but takes the scraps from where they make bags and makes her own bags and sell them. She saved up a bunch of money so she could pay to have this her little sister go take this test. So basically, she can go to a boarding school,
Okay.
and it's based on a real thing. And I think lead actress was actually in that program, that like boarding school program.
Very
So that's kind
cool.
of a cool connection there.
Yeah.
I'm Not a Robot. I love that one because I just thought the premise was hilarious and it was so well done. It's like the CAPTCHA things where it's like click all the stop signs,
Yes.
and so you have to click them. And it was like that's not correct. Try it again. She's like, someone's drawing my computer. They're like, just keep trying it. And so then the thing pops up and it's like, are you a robot? She's like, no. And then it's like, are you sure? Like, yes. And she went through the whole thing and it's like, do you have like memories up to a certain point, but then not at a certain point? Like, do you not remember like your childhood type stuff? And she's like, yeah, I guess. And then basically at the end, it's like, there's a high percent chance that you are a robot. And
Whoa.
she calls her boyfriend freaking out. And then he's just like, kind of really dismissive. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. So she's freaking out, like going around her job, trying to figure out what's going on. And then he shows up with some lady. And they're like, yeah, you are a bot. Like you're based off of my like wife or girlfriend who died. And so I bought you
Oh
basically, and
shit.
you're programmed where like you basically have free will, but you can't die until I die. That was the one thing because he's like, I already got through loss. Gone through loss, I can't go through. Do whatever you
Whoa.
want, but like I support you. I love you like a real person. And she's just like, no, like you don't own me. Like my life's been a lie. So at the very end of the movie, she runs, jumps off the parking garage from like top floor, smacks in the pavement, blood starts coming out, and then she opens her eyes.
Because she can't die. Whoa.
So I
That's
just like
cool.
love that premise. I thought that was so funny that they use like the CAPTCHA thing.
Yeah.
Like something we all deal with and
Whoa.
it's just a pain in
Yes.
the ass. Like, what if you were a robot?
Yeah. You're so confident that you're not a robot?
Right.
Well.
Get humbled.
Check yourself.
The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent, I thought was horrible. It was the hardest one to find, and it's based on a true story. Like back in, I think it was the 90s, some other country. It's in a completely different language, which you could tell based on like made by Nebojsa Silchepevek and Daniel Peck, like or Danny Joe Peck, like just not American.
Hmm.
Um, they were going through pulling Muslim people off a train and executing them. Basically, this is
Oh.
what happened in real life. And so this movie it's about 7 minutes long, maybe 10 minutes long. these guys stop the train, get on the train. They're going through. They're like papers, papers, and so 95% of the movie is them just sitting there, just looking at each other, not saying anything, just real quiet. And then they get to them, and they're like, papers. The one guy's like, I don't have mine. Like, what's your name? He says his name, and then they're like, what's your saint? And then he's like, I, he's trying to like play it off, and they're like, what's your? I think he ends up saying a saint, and they're like, what's his meal day? Or I don't know all that stuff exactly, but they're asking him like, what's his day? And so one of the guys is like, hey, just leave him alone. And they're like, no, you're not involved in this. Don't talk. And then he's just like, all right, take me to your supervisor. So then they leave together, and then the train goes on, and that's the movie.
Whoa.
The dude says 2 lines,
and then
moves over. Train starts going again. So I'm like, I get like the premise, and it's something very real, is very intense, but I just thought it was really like poorly executed.
Yeah, it's a lot of tension that you don't get a release on, so you're just left like.
That's a very good way to put it. That is a very good way to put it. There's a couple I'm a little butthurt about still. That's one of them.
So jot that down.
Let's see. The last one, I'm trying to find odds for.
Yeah.
The last one is Aline. That was really good. It's about like a couple. I guess the guy's Mexican. They have a kid. The wife's American, and they're married, but they have to go do like the immigration thing to get papers.
Yeah.
So they're getting their papers done. They pull them apart. So then she has to do questioning, and then he has to do questioning, and basically everything's fine. But then they show like Trump on the TV, and he's saying all of the like deportation stuff. So it's very topical, and they use like real footage in it. And they end up like they start just pulling people out and like putting them in vans, basically ICE, deporting them from like the office. And so they try to throw the girl and the dad in like the mom's like, no, like they're legal. And she gets the daughter back, but they take the dad anyway.
Oh.
So it's very like, and the whole film is, that one's very tense in the build up. Cause like you see like unrest, and then like the ICE guards talking and stuff. They start pulling people, and they're like, oh God, like, but they're in the office, so they're okay now. But as soon as they get out, it's very stressful. That one is my pick, Aline. I just feel like it's so topical. It fits so well for the time. They're actually all plus money. So A Man Who Could Not Remain Silent is the favorite at plus 175, which just makes me want to just end myself. Like, which was the same thing that happened last year. It was the Mysterious Case of the Something Man. Like, it was so long, directed by Wes Anderson. Just had all these big name Hollywood guys. Like, if you could pay for an Oscar, that's what they did. It just made me sick to my stomach. But that one ended up winning. If this one wins, I might just not do this category anymore.
It's canceled.
It is canceled, dude. Aduha is at plus 300, and then Aline's at plus 650. So I really like just the topicalness and just how well done it was of my explanations. Which one do you like?
Yeah. I think probably I'm Not a Robot. I love a little sci-fi, and I think it's fun. I feel like with short films, I also think this is true with short stories, is I feel like they're so often unsettling, which I think is good. Like, it's an art form, and I think making people feel anything is a sign of art.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't know. I get a little scared of like the short things, because I'm like, I know this is either going to be fun or I'm going to come out of this devastated.
That's so true. I started watching just like a couple of like the short horror films on YouTube that win awards. God, there's some stuff out there that you're like, I'm glad this isn't an hour long, dude. I couldn't handle that.
Because I can't even handle the 10 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. You're like, they had no budget. How? How did they do this?
Yes. Yeah.
And you know the best part about I'm Not a Robot is that it is on YouTube for free.
Oh, perfect.
I believe it's like New York Times YouTube channel.
Oh, so fun.
Enjoy it. Tonight, once we get off, you go watch it. You'll enjoy it.
After the live stream. Stay for the whole live stream.
Yes.
And then everyone, we're all gonna go watch. I'm not a robot.
Yeah, we'll do a live watch reaction.
Yeah.
How about the animated short? Okay, animated short is so bad this year. So it's Beautiful Men. Did you watch any of these?
No, I haven't seen these.
Oh God, Beautiful Men, In the Shadow of the Cypress, Magic Candies, Wander to Wonder, and find best animated short real quick. All right. So Beautiful Men is about 3 guys who go into Europe to get hair transplants. And like also, by the way, the font is like bubble letters blue with pubes coming out of it. It's
Oh,
absolutely disgusting.
hate that.
You see so much claymation dick in this movie. It just like made me want to like
Ew.
just turn it off, dude. And this, I paid like $4 or $5 on Venmo for this. I was so pissed. I can't even tell you. It was just like it was so upsetting. I hated it. Beautiful Men was the favorite. Thankfully, it slipped back in the rankings. In the Shadow of Cypress is like not even in the running. It's at plus 2,300. Kind of sounds just like it is exactly as it sounds. You know, just like an old, like Egyptian times type film. I heard it's not very good, so I didn't even watch it. Magic Candies. An Asian kid eats these candies and he can talk to like his couch, talk to dogs, he can talk to things.
Wow.
Really weird, really weird. But I mean, it's better than some of these other ones. Yuck is just an animated feature about kids that think it's gross when adults kiss. So, I mean, it's true. I just thought it was really bad. Really bad. The only
like,
one
I'm not opposed to the message.
Yeah, this is not about the message. This is about the execution. Wander to Wonder is the only one that's worth anything in this. It is now the favorite at minus 175. Beautiful Men was the favorite at minus 200, and I sniffed this one out. I was like, Beautiful Men is horrible. Wander to Wonder is like 3 claymation people, and it's really weird because it mixes like claymation with like real life footage. So it's like some guy that had 3 claymation mini people that are like 3-4 inches tall, and they film like kids children shows, kid shows. And he'd be like, you know, like today we're gonna learn how to take a bath, and then they'd be all like goofy and stuff, kind of like, I don't know, like a Teletubbies type thing.
Yeah.
And then the dude dies, and they still try to film, and so it's like each episode just gets weirder and weirder, and they're like eating the like dead flies that like are falling around this guy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean it's actually kind of interesting. They end up like catching the house on fire and that they can't get out. It's actually it's pretty good.
Okay.
If you're gonna watch one, it's the only one worth a watch.
Okay, I'm in.
I don't even need to convince you about that one, right? We're just in on Wander to Wonder.
Yep. All in.
How about visual effects? I think this one might make you happy. We have Alien Romulus. I watched an Alien movie this year. That was interesting. Better Man. I think 14 people saw that one. Dune Part 2. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I saw a Planet of the Apes movie this year. Once again, not expected. And Wicked. Let's see. Best visual effects. At least this is in. No, it is alphabetical. Dune Part 2 is the favorite. Minus 900.
Hell yeah. That's right. Dune 2.
It's got to be Dune Part 2. I can't see any of these.
Justice.
Better
I was
Man.
worried.
Tell me a monkey's going to be.
Okay, I was going to ask. I was like, okay, so we talked. There's 2 man movies. Which one is
this the crappy monkey.
Okay.
And I'm not talking Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Dune 2. I could see a world where Wicked, like, just because it was so, I don't know. Maybe some of the Wicked hype has died down, but like when Wicked was out, people were like, Wicked's gonna it's gonna win all these awards, and it's, I mean,
yeah,
musical that's being nominated for all this stuff. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, in a just world, Dune 2.
Alien Romulus just seemed like every other alien sci-fi movie.
I haven't seen that one. I think there was I saw like a clip that I was like, this seems a little too scary. But I'm also not too
It
scared.
wasn't that
It
scary.
wasn't bad. Okay.
But it also wasn't that entertaining. It was a second screen
Oh,
watch.
okay. A second screen.
If
first screen here.
if you waited and got to the end of that article, I ranked all the movies based on watchability. 1 being avoidable, 2 being a second screen watch. I think 3 was like worth your time or something. 4 was recommended, and 5 was like outstanding. No movies got a 5 this year. Single
Not
one.
Dune
Only
2?
a couple 4s. I don't think I gave Dune 2 a 4. No, I mean I don't think I gave it a 5. It either had a 3 or a 4.
Gosh. I watched Dune 2 4 times last year.
That's like 14 hours. No, I'm kidding.
That was the whole year.
Yeah. And like, I don't think they did as much as they did the first Dune, like with all the different planets and stuff. That was kind of my knock on it. But like once again, I think Dune Part 2 wins by a lot. Like Kingdom on the Planet of the Apes is second at plus 650, and then next is Wicked at plus 2003. Okay. So once again, it's kind of like a 2-horse race, but really, is it at minus 900? It seems like Dune Part 2 is kind of locked and loaded to win. What did you think of the like gladiator scene where it's like all black and white? Did you like that? Or because like that's kind of a weird thing when they go to their planet and the what do you call it? Not the hue, but like all the color gets zapped out of it. The saturation gets zapped out. You like that?
I thought that was very cool. I don't know if it's like high art, but it was fun. Like it's just like totally different like feeling. And you're immediately like kind of unsettled too. You just kind of like already feel like outside of like, okay, like they're living in this world that I'm not in. And I thought it was so interesting and fun. And just like the Harkonnens they're great. And I guess it makes sense. I feel like Austin Butler kind of had his award season when Elvis came out.
Oh yeah.
But I guess it makes sense that he's not nominated. But Zendaya is. Okay, now I'm mad again. What the heck? Also, you know what's not nominated that I loved? Challengers. Not even for music. Oh, I love Challengers. It's so good. It is fun.
I'll have to talk more movies when we're done talking.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to talk to you about Heretic too. Because I wanted to see that one. I almost watched it the other day, but the wife was sleeping, and I'm like, probably screaming in the background. It's not like most relaxing. Like, maybe let's watch something else,
Trying to calm. Yeah. We'll have to have a movie talk part 2.
Yes. And then interesting kind of you and me like talking about like deeper things, like really thought-provoking things. Do you think that they did that? They zapped the color and the substance out to show the lack of feeling that the Harkonnens have, like the lack of emotion? I think that's kind of like an artistic take.
I'm reimagining what all happens in the scene. And I think if I'm remembering it right, it's really only black and white when they are like outdoors, right? And like once they're inside, then the color comes back. So it's kind of like the sun is what breaks it out. I could see that. It's like, it's almost like their essence is totally different. Like they are, the like where they get their life force is like opposite of it, and like cold almost, and harsh. And I could see that being kind of like an undertone. I think like in the Dune universe, the Harkonnens are supposed to be just like everything they do is bad. Like there's just they are the bad guys, and I mean, I think everyone's a little bad, but the Harkonnens are especially bad.
I'm looking at pictures right now. If it's not just black and white, it kind of seems like they have like a blue like hue to it. for the
Yeah.
background. And I think that's a really stark contrast versus everything else in Dune is that like bright orange. Like,
Yes. Yeah, you think of the like opening scene of the second one where it's like orange sand,
yeah,
black eclipse sun,
yeah,
and yeah, they're just like always in the bright sun, and then you get there and it's like this cold
yeah.
sun in this.
It has to be some artistic
Yeah.
take there, I think, with like making you feel that. And I feel like that plays right into the movie. Right into
Yes.
your emotion.
Yeah, I agree. And they did a lot of, I don't know what the exact technique was, but like they weren't just like editing it to like put it in black and white mode. They like
Right,
filmed it in a way that made that happen. And so they were going this extra level to like add,
right.
like make their effects feel real.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I agree. They just felt so different than any. I forget the name of the plant. The
Um,
spice plant.
oh, the Arrakis is this
Arrakis, yes.
Harkonnen. Oh, I was just looking this up recently. I don't remember what their planet is called. It has one. I need to watch it again.
Yeah, right. Let's talk about production design. That is The Brutalist Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, welcome, and Wicked.
Wow.
Did you ever watch any of the Nosferatus before you watched this?
No, I'd never seen a Nosferatu movie except for the one Nosferatu that's in SpongeBob.
Did you expect it to be so horny?
I think I knew it was going to be horny, but I didn't expect for it to be like also uncomfortable.
I had no idea. I did not know it was going to be like that at all.
I was like, this is horny, but like not in a fun way.
Oh, no. It's creepy, but like
Yeah.
not in like a fun, creepy way. It's like,
like,
this is just gross.
Yeah. And like Nosferatu is played by one of the Skarsgårds. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you can even tell. Like you have him in there and he's just this like dripping mustache.
Yes. Yes. I was so let down by that movie. That was one of the ones that I had to pay the $20 for. And I was like,
Oh.
Between that and like the Better Men or whatever, not Better Man, the animated one, or just like the two, I was just like, they stole my money. I feel like I got robbed, dude.
Yeah. Highway robbery over here.
Yeah, I did not know Nosferatu was gonna be like that. I don't know why it is like that. Like, who thought that like any lady would be calling out to
I know.
creepy? Maybe I just don't get it.
I thought it'd be more like it's like creepy in an empowering way of like, yeah, she gets to like choose her own path and that's the creepy vampire. But the movie, it's like it feels she's very much forced into the position of like, if you don't want everyone you love to die, then you have to do this. And I'm like, this is just feels like kind of a bummer, honestly.
Right. I thought it was gonna be like more like slasher. Like I kept waiting for like the boyfriend or fiance to die, and it's just like never in the. It didn't feel like it's ever really in the cards.
Yeah.
Just got to go, and then like he comes over on a boat, and I'm just like, I don't know. I thought there'd be a lot more like death and scariness instead of what it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of people just dying from disease, it seems like.
Yeah, the most deadly thing was the rats.
Yeah.
Rats on the boat.
Well, you know.
At least it's historically accurate. But production design, Wicked's the favorite, -230, and then the Brutalist at +800.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder about Conclave being a sleeper here at +1000.
I think that'd be cool. I think
like, this is like making the set, and they're trying to like make the inside of the Vatican basically.
Yes.
I feel like that's hard.
Yeah. A lot of cool spaces is like it felt very big and open, which I liked. I guess I'm trying to think of all the different places they were. They kind of go around. They're like in the kind of dormitory area, they're in the voting area, they go outside sometimes. Yes. Oh, the lunchroom. Iconic. Diabolical vape hit.
Diabolical. You're crazy.
I had picked Wicked for this one too. I like was in a room and someone had put on a YouTube video where the person who made the sets was talking about it. And
Okay.
so much went into the set design, like
Yeah.
planting tulip fields and like
Oh,
they
those are
built,
real?
yeah.
I
They
didn't think
like
that was real.
I think like the like front part was real and then they might have like extended it,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
had like acres of tulip fields and like building the boats that they sail in on and like building that like water area that they
Yeah.
sail in on and the different like school buildings and stuff. So it was impressive the amount of work they put into it.
Yeah. And like so much variety. Yeah. You
Yes.
had to do Munchkin Land. You had to do Shiz. You had
Yeah.
to do the Emerald City.
Yes.
And there's like you said, like a bunch of different buildings and different type of stuff.
Yes. A lot of things with a lot of like it feels like a very unique space in it.
Yes.
You know, like Emerald City, very different from Shiz, and they were able to capture that and like immediately, and the train, and
Right.
there's just like a lot of fantasy made up different things that they
Yeah.
were
Like it
building
seems like
in.
they could have like shipped it in for the library. But instead
Yeah.
they like
Oh, yeah, and the like spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll say I think they deserve it over Dune 2.
they ate.
They ate. They did.
Well,
So.
all you need to do to replicate Dune 2 is get a couple of sandbox.
Whoa. Don't forget about the worms.
Yeah, the word.
They had to ship those in.
They had to ship those in. That's crazy. Those are definitely from Africa, dude. We don't have anything that big over here.
Yeah.
Australia, maybe.
They're also endangered, so.
Yeah, shout out dune worms. Yeah, proceeds from this video are gonna go to Save the Dune.
Save the Dune. Donate below.
Yeah, link below. Link in description. Makeup and hairstyling. This is where A Different Man is, which I'm glad it made it on because I would not have watched my Oscars research. Glad I watched it. Amelia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. I feel like we gotta glaze The Substance here.
Ooh. Do you say we have to glaze The Substance?
Glaze The Substance.
What does that mean?
Like fangirl.
Makeup, does makeup include
wounds?
It includes what?
Wounds.
Looms.
Wounds, like when she crawled out of her back.
Oh no.
Like that wound counts. And
then
wounds.
I thought you said womb, and I was like, I guess her back is a womb.
I was gonna say for that movie, that's still accurate.
Sure, yeah.
For the wounds, and then the aging process, like that's both makeup.
Yeah. Ooh. I think The Substance, especially with horror, like you're having to make people believe that something terrible is happening to people's bodies that you're not actually doing, and The Substance was gross, so they did a great job.
They did. Shout out Nosferatu. That was a great job. You guys did hairstyle on that Frenchy ass mustache.
Nosferatu was also gross, but in a way that was less fun. So
I liked A Different Man, but it's plus 4,000. Substance right now is a favorite at minus 500. Wicked at plus 650. Which I feel like you and me are probably those are the two. Are Wicked and Substance.
Yeah, I think so.
Gotta eat the chalk this one. Substance minus 500. Costume design. A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. I wrote about it in my article. Gladiator 2, I just feel like historical ones never win. Like Napoleon had no
Oh,
chance to win because they're just so restricted to times. Okay,
yeah,
it was whatever year they were wearing the togas and this type of armor, so you're
yeah,
stuck with that. Whereas Wicked, you make whatever you want, which is why I believe last year's winner, Poor Things, they could do whatever they want. The
yeah.
fantasy movie, you don't have those restrictions.
I like that. I also don't know that Gladiator 2, I feel like didn't bring a lot in. Maybe it's just because of the, preconceived notion of like, well, they have to do that.
Right.
But I wasn't very impressed with. I don't
Surprising
know.
nomination.
Yeah, I agree. So I
Plus
guess
4,000. They're by far the biggest dogs.
someone out there, if you believe in Gladiator 2, go for it. You could win big.
Go for it. You can win big. You're the meme of the guy with the pickaxe digging for diamonds, and there's just that
Keep
little bit
going.
left. Just keep going. You just haven't won yet.
Yeah. Put it all in.
Wicked minus 1,000. Huge favorite.
Okay. That makes
Huge
sense.
favorite.
Yeah.
Conclave at plus 1,100. Once again, like I just feel like they have to be in the cardinal attire. I don't know
Yeah.
how that works. How is
That's
it the second highest?
I'm like, I liked their costumes, but
Yeah.
they are all in the same costume. So I feel like it's your job's. I guess they have the red, and then they had the nuns. So
Damn,
they had two costumes.
Yeah, two people, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, Wicked. It was just beautiful. It was a stunning film to watch. So
I can't agree more. About cinematography, The Brutalist, Dune Part 2 is back. Emilia Perez, Maria, a new entry, and Nosferatu.
yeah,
Did you watch Maria? It was free on Netflix.
I did not.
Nobody did.
You and everyone else.
Yeah, yeah, it was so bad, man. I watched it. Well, sorry, I didn't watch it. I had it on while I was cleaning, and I still turned it off. It's so bad.
Wow. I don't know that I've even heard of it.
It's Angelina Jolie, and it's like I guess it's based on a real person, like a retired opera singer, and she's
Oh.
basically like telling her story before she dies, I guess, but it's still like she's like singing in her kitchen, and then the like maid is like, got it. This is a fucking horrible movie. This is so bad.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
when we're talking cinematography, that is more like almost like where the camera is looking. Is that how
I
they define
You
cinematography?
know what? I'm gonna look that up right now. I was just thinking that right here. Right? It's the second one I googled. Oh, it is achieved by skillfully using camera angles, movement, composition, lighting, and focus to effectively convey a story's mood, emotion, and meaning without drawing undue attention to itself.
Interesting. Okay. I think for the fans in the chat, you all know what I'm gonna pick for this.
Oh no! Here, are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It is the third favorite, plus 550.
Hey, look, y'all. Giving a tip.
It's not too far off, man. Because number 2 is Nosferatu at plus 430, which like why?
Wow. That is shocking.
And then number 1's Brutalist at minus 2.
Wow.
So I'll probably be going Brutalist here.
Yeah. I think probably if I were betting smarter, I'd go Brutalist. I'm betting with my heart though.
Yeah. See, like when I think about the lighting and stuff, I think about like the library in the beginning. I just thought they did such a good job with like the windows.
Yeah.
And a couple moments that were like. Also, they built that building that you never got to see.
Yeah. I wanted we needed a tour of like what's going on in here.
They keep walking through like the like underwater.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, this is like the water place," and you're like, and it's dark, like.
There was supposed to be so much more. Why do I keep seeing this piece of shit?
Like we're back in the column with water plays.
Well, we're back in the water now. It's this time, you know?
That's where the plot is.
Yeah. I'm glad somebody found it. I got lost. How about original screenplay? Let's talk about Honora the Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5th, and The Substance. September 5th is like the Olympics when I guess some like people were held hostage.
Oh, I saw a trailer for that.
Yes, I did too. I watched it a couple times once again to get vibes, but
Yeah.
I didn't pull the trigger. Once again, it's really expensive to watch every movie.
I think I just saw the trailer at a movie I went to recently. So I didn't
Really?
realize it was I'm like that it's surprising me that it's been nominated.
Yeah.
When were we supposed to watch this?
Right. What are you thinking here?
So I had two marked. I don't think I landed on one. I am thinking either A Real Pain or The Substance.
Okay. Interesting picks.
Thank you.
Substance is actually the second favorite.
Okay.
Plus 400. Interesting enough, The Brutalist is fourth, plus 1600.
Whoa. Is Honora first?
Nora's number one.
Interesting.
Which, once again, why is Mikey Madison not the in odds for Best Actress?
Weird.
I kind of agree with that. I think that a lot of these Best Original Screenplays, like, if you could put in one sentence what about how good is it compared to the other. So The Brutalist is like, it's a movie about a guy building a building. Like, that's great. That is beneath September 5th.
Drop
it's not, but it really is.
Yeah.
A Real Pain. Two brothers that go on a vacation together and work through trauma. This is more interesting.
Yeah.
Substance, people battling with beauty and age. Balance. All right, that sounds good too. And Nora, just had a little bit of a tougher time there. Couple that gets married and battles through it.
Yeah, prostitute marries into the Russian mob briefly.
Yeah. That's a better one. That's a better one. Actually, you made it sound a lot more interesting than I did. Actually, The Substance kind of sounds like the most interesting one.
Yeah, aging celebrity commits substance abuse, but not with what.
But
you
not
think
like the
is.
normal way.
In a cool, different way.
Yeah. He's up in dark alley. Actually, it's the exact same thing as normal. Never mind. Don't watch the movie. How about Best Adapted Screenplay? That is going to be A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, new one, and Sing Sing. I didn't watch Nickel Boys.
I haven't either.
I want to see Sing Sing.
I do too. I'm not a big, because that's a musical also, right?
I don't think it's a musical, but it's about guys in a musical program.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd like to see that one. I also read, or I was looking on Letterboxd, and Nickel Boys is pretty highly rated, so I'm curious about that. Yeah, it was like, I'm like, I think this is probably gonna be sad, and it's also hard to watch. So.
Right.
I had a lot of barriers to it. Someday, if it's streaming on something and I want to cry, I'll watch it.
Absolutely. That's a great point. Yeah. It costs more than more than I make per hour, and it's going to cost me an hour, 2 hours to watch it. Math's not mathing.
The ROI, man.
ROI. Conclave is the favorite at minus 900.
That's what I had. Conclave.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Amelia Perez is next at plus 14.
I mean, We might be missing something on Amelia Perez. The Academy knows something that we don't know.
Why did it get nominated for everything, but is only leading in one category, supporting actress?
I don't know. That we need a debrief. Like they need to like tell us what they were thinking.
Yeah, you guys gotta explain yourselves.
Yeah. What's going on?
How about animated feature? Got Flow, Inside Out 2, Bit More of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. Okay.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say nobody watched Bit More of a Snail or Wallace and Gromit. It's just a Wallace and Gromit movie. Like if you've seen one, you've seen all of them.
I feel
Bit More
like
of a Snail looks so weird.
So I feel like some people love Wallace and Gromit, and I don't know why. I've always found them very unnerving as a child. They're unsettling, but maybe I need to try it again. I don't know.
Maybe Chicken Run just like messed us all up.
Yes, yeah, that also like the claymation, that style. It's like really scary things are happening.
Which is what more of a snail is, claymation, but like purposely more creepy.
Oh, interesting. I feel like I've seen a lot of people who loved it. What am I thinking of? There was a movie with a weird name that people thought was hilarious. Oh, I think it was like 100 Beavers or something. Have you heard of that? There's a movie that like I had never heard of until there was this like subset of the internet. They're like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. So I don't think it's Memoir of a Snail.
I loved your breakdown, and I couldn't do more. She already knows. She already knows of The Wild Robot. And I even told Catherine, because I just enjoyed it so much, I said, the Iron Giant, but make it about motherhood. I grew up on the Iron Giant. I love that movie. And I love The Wild Robot.
I did too. It was very, like, very heartfelt. I liked how open it was, just like out in nature. A lot of fun characters, very fun voice actors too. It was a good one. I do really want to. I haven't. It's also the only one I've seen so far, but I do want to see Flow.
I was gonna say, what do you think about the voice actors?
Stunning.
For those of you who don't know, it has 0 dialogue.
But they do use animals for all of the like animal sounds.
They do. What did they use for that alien whale?
Obviously, they got an alien whale.
You're right. That's a stupid question.
They used the dune worms.
Bro, those guys are in massive business right now. Fuck,
link in the comments,
dude. No, link to me in the comments, bro. They're doing just fine. You would like Flow. Flow is really good. It's really introspective too.
Oh, and it's about a cat.
It is. And your cat's made a couple appearances.
I know. She's like, and when are you going to ask me what I think?
Right. Like, I can't believe you're not picking Flow. This is crazy.
Wow. I can't believe Flow isn't nominated for all of them.
Right. Inside Out 2. What, like, Inside Out, the original one won Best Animated Feature back when it came out. Now we have Inside Out 2. I think I saw that no animated feature has ever won in the sequel besides Toy Story.
Interesting. It makes sense that Toy Story did.
Right, because Toy Story is awesome.
Yeah.
Inside Out 2, I don't think it.
Did you see it?
I did.
Do you think it was as good as the first one?
I thought it was better than the first one. I didn't like the first one very much, but this one, I mean, plays hockey. She's going through some more relatable things. I was never a little girl, so I couldn't relate to that, but I could relate to the perils of, when you're starting to go to high school and that transition. So everybody can relate to that. So I like the second one better.
I remember liking the first one. Disney Pixar films, I have been hesitant to go to lately because they always make me cry, and like Inside Out especially. But even if it's happy, I'm weeping on this side.
You're gonna weep at this one. You're gonna weep at this one.
I figured.
You get some new characters. You get anxiety. You get depression. You start getting these other ones that are like, oh my god.
Yeah. Get the tissues.
Yes. Once it hits Disney Plus, though, it's a watch. You should check it
Okay.
out.
I'm in.
How about documentary feature film? Again, these are really hard to find. This is Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, soundtrack to a Coupe de Tite, and Sugarcane.
I no documentaries. I don't watch any.
So Black Box Diaries is about, I believe, she's Korean. She's like, once again, I have to be careful when you essayed by
Um,
some political leader. She tries to like tell people get the story out, but like she tries to be silent. Like people try to silence her. Something along those lines. No Other Land, which once again I only saw one because I couldn't get access to the. I tried to watch Black Box Diaries, but it's like one of those weird things where it's like Max, but you have to have the like HBO Plus digital Max booty cheeks
yeah.
times four. One of those like stupid add-ons to a streaming platform that you're already paying for.
Yep.
So I didn't see that well, but No Other Land is like about the Israel and Palestine conflict right now.
Oh yeah.
And it's like an Israeli reporter and a Palestinian, I don't know, freedom fighter or whatever, or a family guy, and like those two become friends. Basically, they show like
Oh,
what Israel is doing to like some Palestine. I think so. Very, once again, very topical one.
yeah.
Porcelain War is about the war in Ukraine, and like some of the fighters are like plotters. What I got from watching
Oh,
stuff about it, and I'm just like 20 Days in Mariupol from last year when it won, and that was like really good. I don't see a Ukraine war doc with back to back.
yeah.
Soundtrack to a Coupe Deity, bro. It just looks so bad. It's a musical, not that it's a musical, but it's like a documentary of like old town jazz. It just looks very
Oh,
boring.
yeah.
So I didn't watch it. I don't. It's probably some New Orleans type thing, especially with the name Coupe de Tite. It sounds very French, so
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. It's jazz related, and then Sugarcane, very very interesting, and I'd love to talk more about this one. Can't say a lot about it because we are on YouTube, but I didn't know a lot of this stuff. So the Canadian government didn't want Indigenous people in their public schools, so they opened up a bunch of like these private schools, but
Yeah.
it's just schools for Indigenous children. But it was ran by the Catholic Church, and so
Um,
the like priests and I guess the priests that were like teachers and stuff were doing things they weren't supposed to be doing, and then getting shuffled around. And
mm,
there, there's a lot of like I know what I want to say, but I can't say it. But there's not a lot of like no longer being here due to yourself, drug use, depression, abuse, that kids that came out of it. And then a lot of the kids that were created were born and then uh, stuff happened and they were no longer around.
whoa.
These
Oh,
babies, that only one of them made it out. And
oh,
that the director of the film, it's his dad.
oh, wow.
So it
That's
is super powerful. And I believe it's like on Paramount. So it's one of those I was able to actually watch.
yeah.
It's one of those you got to be ready for.
Right. Oh, I like. I wish I was more into documentaries. Maybe I should try to get into it. But it's like it's these things where it's like this is real life and like this is happening and people don't know about it, and so it's very
Heavy.
like heavy, educational, also like important that we're bringing light to it. But yeah, like very. It's also hard when you're like, I want to sit down and watch something. Like I'm gonna watch something that makes me feel good afterwards or makes me feel like really horrific about the world.
Yes.
So it's tough, but it's good that they're here and like they're being made.
I agree. I agree. No Other Land is the current favorite at minus 160. Can't say that's probably not the pick to win. Just because last year the war in the Ukraine was super topical. Really good documentary and it won. This one's winning a lot of awards. It's super topical. It looks really good. I want to watch it so bad. I just can't get my hands on it.
Yeah.
So I think No Other Land's gonna win. But Porcelain Wars #2, which I think is probably like, besides soundtrack to Coupe d'Etat, I think Porcelain Wars is probably right there with
Okay.
factor. Sugar Cane is third at plus 850, but I feel like it's between.
Cool.
If you had to pick one, which one are you picking?
I am curious. I was a music major for a hot second in college.
Oh
for
no!
the first bit of undergrad. So I have taken like jazz classes.
Oh, no.
So I'm kind of curious about that.
If you watch it, it's good. I'll watch it. But
Okay.
I watched the preview when I judged, so maybe.
And I haven't seen any of it. It could very well not be compelling.
How about original score? This is The Brutalist. It sounds like the Home Depot. Boom, boom, boom. Burnt. I thought Brutalist was terrible. Conclave, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. I'm hopping back on it.
Back on what? Okay, so here's the thing. Dune 2 should have been nominated.
Here we go. Go on, Queen.
It was disqualified because Hans already won for Dune 1.
Really?
And I think it's because he already won and there's so many used like themes that are pulled in from the first one into the second one. They said it was too similar. Okay. So it wasn't like allowed to be considered for. And then, so I saw Hans Zimmer twice live on his tour of North America. Kind of a fan. And the second time I saw him, we were in Nashville, and Dune 2 had just won a Grammy for the soundtrack. And then he performed that night. So it was very cool. And he was talking then, like he's very excited. And then he was kind of referencing the Grammys. I don't think he called, or not Grammys, the Academy Awards. I don't think he called them out directly, but he was saying that, it's one full story. And he's like, if you're telling a story, you're going to have recurring themes. He's like, I'm trying to be a good storyteller here.
Yeah.
But he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, go off, King. You were robbed.
Dude, it's rigged. Dude, it's fixed.
They're out to get you. But very cool score. But if we're looking at the ones that are actually nominated, I think I put Wicked just because I feel like people loved the music. I think there'll be a lot of outrage if the score doesn't get recognized. But I guess when it's original score, that is not referencing the songs themselves because those aren't original. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's basically like the background music. So like there's not, because there's best song and then the original score. So like that's why I don't know. The Brutalist was just sound like banging.
Yeah.
Because they try to make it really metal, like not metal like shredding the guitar, but like metal as in the element because of the architecture. I like the Wild Robot, like just like piano and just the music.
I'll go listen to it. I haven't listened to it on its own. I was weeping, and I feel like that is usually partially attributed to the score. So
absolutely,
it is probably beautiful.
You gotta go listen to them after this. But there's a lot of stuff to do after this.
We got a long list.
How about best sound? This is A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2. Bellamy just killing it on the sound aspect. Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot.
I went. This was my my revenge or my retribution for Hans Zimmer. It's like if he couldn't win music, they should win. Actually, sound I think is totally different. It's not music related. It's like they're doing sound effects.
Yeah.
Um, I'll still go Dune 2.
It's the favorite. They're
Oh yeah,
expected to win.
yeah, it
Dune
is.
Part 2 minus 220. I'm with you too. I think they're gonna win.
Yeah,
Everything
I
just
mean,
sounds right.
I agree. There's a lot of cool like speeches. There's the worms. Yeah,
I
sword
think
fight.
I think the sound of the thumper is really.
I agree. Oh my gosh.
It's just slept on. Like because it could have been like clap, clap,
Yeah.
or like a clack sound, but the like boom of it, I think it's just like.
Oh my gosh. I went and saw Dune. I saw it first in a normal theater, and the second time I watched it was in a like, oh, what's it called? The like XD motion capture seats.
Uh huh.
And it was like you think anytime there's a thumper, anytime there's a worm on screen, any like battle, it's like, and I was like shaking in the chair.
Are you sure the chair was shaking, or were you just
It's
excited?
just me.
You're like, oh my god, this is awesome. And people
It's
next to you are just sitting
happening.
still.
It was fun.
I love it. I love it. Sound is definitely going to Dune Part 2. Music original score El Mal by Amelia Perez. The Journey by the 6888. Like a Bird from Sing Sing. Me Camino, Amelia Perez, and Never Too Late by Elton John.
Crazy.
Let's just mark Me Camino off. That's the one, the actress that we couldn't remember her name. It's like
Oh
the
yeah.
karaoke song.
Selena Gomez. I
Yes,
just said it.
Selena Gomez. Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, and it's like, wow, I can't believe we're marking Selena off, but it is just bad.
Yeah.
You have a favorite out of
Um,
those?
I've only seen Amelia Perez, but I can't vote for it. I can't, in good faith, cast my vote for it. So I'm gonna go like a bird from Sing Sing,
I like that one.
just to root for them.
I like it. I'm gonna go El Mal. That is Amelia Perez. That's the one where Zoe Saldana is like they're at the like diner or the meal thing, and
Oh
it's like it gets
yes,
dark and then spotlights her.
that one probably the best song of the movie. I would
I
say.
agree. I agree. So yeah, that's the favorite right now. Minus 280. 6888. The Journey is next at plus 750. I didn't watch that movie, but I did listen to the song. I thought it was really good. It made me actually kind of want to watch the movie.
I haven't heard of the movie.
I hadn't either. I think it. Excuse me. I think it might be on Netflix. It's about like all black women in World War II. They like started a group like help deliver mail
Cool.
soldiers. Yeah, yeah. It looks good. And it's like, how do you not pick an Elton John song? It's actually the fourth at plus 4.
Whoa.
Me Camino's above him, plus 800. Like, get out. Like, that's such
Losing
a.
their minds.
Apparently, they have to be. That's even. We got two left
All right.
already. About documentary short, we got Death by Numbers, I'm Ready, Warden, Incident, Instruments of a Beating Heart, and The Only Girl in the Orchestra. I feel like The Only Girl in the Orchestra and Instruments of Heart are like both musical related and are going to be similar enough. I think they're going to get lost.
Oh,
I think there's going to be a lot of votes for them. I Am Ready, Warden is about a guy who like murdered somebody. Oh, is some guy who unalived somebody in Texas.
No.
All right, take the stream down.
No, we got to start over.
If we're in England, I'd be getting my door pounded in right now. But he gets the death penalty, and they're like, "Is it moral to still have the death penalty?" And I guess the town is like, "No, don't do it." But they end up doing it anyways. I guess he's the most recent execution in Texas. Death by Numbers is about a. Some stuff's just so hard to say. Something happened in a school that wasn't good. I'll put it that way. She was a survivor. She actually got shot. So she confronts him. I guess it's like building up like her moment in court when she comes face to face.
Wow.
And then Incident, I just watched this one. It's on YouTube. It's actually about one of the cop shootings in Chicago. And the whole documentary is made from body cam footage and like CCTV on top of buildings.
Whoa.
They just like piece the whole thing together. And it just like it to me it's just so that's my pick as Incident. Just because like why does this stuff keep happening? Just
Yeah.
to see it play out the way it did and just like dude's just like walking down the street asking to give with an ID because he's concealed carry, so he tries to pull out his ID to give it to him, and then they start grabbing him, trying to detain him, and he's like freaks out like, "Why are you guys grabbing me?" And then pulls away, tries to run away from him. They just end him.
Wow. And like using the other camera footage is really
I thought so too. That's a really like
kind of scary too. I don't know. I don't know. It makes it seem so.
It feels real.
Yeah, like we're watching real life, which we are.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
because like all the people, because of course a crowd gathers. They said this is like during, like I guess there was another trial going on of a cop doing bad stuff, and so like tensions were already high. So like a mob basically gathers, like people angry shouting at them, and all of them are blurred out their face and their tattoos, like, identifying it. Makes it that like feel like so real. Like I can't even like show these people.
That's cool. Is that one favored to
win? Actually, no, it's the third. Wow. Number one is I'm Ready at plus 100. The Only Girl in the Orchestra, surprising, plus 270. Incident, plus 400. Death by Numbers.
Well, Incident has my vote. Granted, haven't seen any of them, but
it's good. It's good. Once again, free on YouTube. You don't even have to leave this platform. You just go straight there.
Perfect.
Last one, international. We've got I'm Still Here from Brazil. The Girl with the Needle from Denmark. Emilia Perez from France. The Seed of the Sacred Fig in Germany. And Flow from Latvia.
Oh, fun. Is Emily Perez favored?
No.
What is it?
I'm Still Here. Minus 170.
Okay, that makes sense.
One I wanted to see. You know what that one's about?
I don't. I know that the like actress. I feel like I've seen articles about her, and it's like her mom, or like someone she's related to, has won an Oscar.
Oh, really?
And it's like the only other person from Brazil who's won an Oscar before, or something like that.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's about like the Brazilian. I guess they would just kidnap people and then end them, and it's like a lady who that happens to her. It happens to her husband. Basically, like as she's dying, gets the like I guess letter from the state that's like, yeah, this is what happened. He died like.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's once again based on real stuff, but it's a dramatization of family.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is like, how does Emilia Perez beat? Like that's like heavy, really hard to beat.
I know. Yeah. Emilia Perez had like just too many things going. They needed to pick one difficult topic. Not all of them. Yeah.
And no awards.
If the world is just.
Yeah, right. I think Flo has a chance at plus 34.
I hope Flo does. Just because it seems cute.
Yeah. I would put Flo. Still like Flo. Flo's good. I would recommend it. I was very hesitant. I just don't like him.
Oh, I'm excited. Yeah, that's one where it's like I think I'd watch for fun, even if it wasn't on the Oscar list.
That's it. All the
Wow.
awards. Got through it.
Do we have any questions in the chat?
I don't. No, I don't think we do.
Okay. Well, chat.
Fortunately,
If you have any questions,
L
reach
chat.
out.
Yeah, yeah. Reach out and post it. Post it on any of our posts.
Yeah,
Post it on this video. Post it on something you see on Twitter. We're everywhere, man.
we'll get back to you,
We will. We will.
or we'll save it and answer it next year.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, we gotta start making this an annual thing.
Yeah.
Uh, we also broke a record though. While we're on. This is the longest live stream.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, we're about to hit 2 hours.
We're about to hit 2 hours. Hour 53 minutes.
We could be nominated. We could be a full length film.
we probably beat some of these entries. You want to stay on, talk for another 2 hours about architecture?
Let's break down what is architecture, what is brutalism. Some people like those buildings.
They do. They do. The triangle is a very strong shape.
And concrete, very good material. Good to make your entire building out of it.
Yes. Yes. And minimal arches. You don't need arches. Even though that's like something that came enlightened. It's gonna make everything square as shit.
Yeah. Famously, we liked arches, and that's why we got to get rid of them.
Yes. Yeah. Arches are a thing of the past.
Yeah.
We build everything like Minecraft here now. This is the future.
We want squares. We want not a lot of windows. We want basements full of water.
No sump pumps.
No sump pumps. We're not explaining why the water is there.
And we're not showing you the building. The whole movie is about the building, but you don't
get to see the rest of it. You just get to see a couple small parts that we want you to see.
My last question is for you.
Yes.
Any movies get stiff this year? Is there anything that you thought was really good that didn't make it?
I touched on this. Challengers.
Did. What's Challengers?
So fun. So Challengers is, I'd say drama, sports drama, maybe.
Okay.
Kind of romance, but not. There's like, I don't know. Romance is almost used as like a weapon, and but it's 3 tennis players who meet at the like youth tennis championship or like some sort of like youth match where like all the best high schoolers play in a tournament, and there's like kind of a spark between it's Zendaya and then Josh O'Connor, Mike something, and so they like all kind of have sparks, and then Zendaya is like the best tennis player of all time, and like she's like crushing people, and they both have crushes on her and think she's so good at tennis, and she is. And then two of them go to college together. One of them is out traveling playing tennis, and then Zendaya hurts her knee and is like cannot play tennis anymore, so then she becomes a coach. And so it's kind of like they're kind of playing this game of like relationship, because the guys like her and she's kind of playing them against each other, but then she really just wants to play tennis and both of them play. Then it's like all like played out in this match that they're flashing back to, that the two guys are playing in this tennis match, and it's almost like they're playing to win the relationship too. It's very dramatic. The music, crazy and so fun.
Sounds good.
It's very pretty. It's, incredible acting too. It's a fun one. I like it a lot. I was like, the first time I saw it, I was like, I like drove around for 30 minutes after, just like in the dark, because I was so wired. I had the music on. I was like, oh my. So, and it's like, it's one of those where I like, if The Substance can get nominated for Best Picture, I think Challengers could have, but I wouldn't have expected it. But I do think it could have, like, it should have gotten music or like cinematography. They had some really cool shots. So I think it could have gotten some nods.
Yeah.
Freaking-
Do you think that they should add? I mean, we already went through 23. Do you think they should
Anyway.
add more like best horror, best comedy, best of
Ooh.
genres? So like, there's more other movies have a chance. Like, I feel like comedies don't have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the like comedy and horror, I feel like
Right.
it's like very rare to see them. This is something I think a lot of people are talking about, but I'd love to see stunts as a category.
Oh yeah.
Just like very unsung heroes that, especially when, I don't know, it's like it's becoming really important when directors want to do something real and not just VFX or like, do it in post.
Yeah.
And so I think it's cool when they are doing that. And it's also like those people should be acknowledged that they have skills that aren't being recognized anywhere else. So maybe.
Glad you also liked
Yeah, yes.
it. That was a good movie.
That was fun. I I had actually, so I saw half of it in theaters, and it was because I was waiting to pick up some friends from the airport,
Okay.
and their flight kept getting delayed, and so I was like, well, I guess I'll go watch a movie till they get here, and so started Fall Guy, and got like 2/3 of the way through, and then like, oh, we landed, so I had to leave. So
Oh,
then I didn't see it for like another 6 months. I was like, oh, it was like getting really good. Like everything
yeah.
was coming. And then I finally saw it. I think I was on a plane and I saw that it was on the like free movies you could watch. So I finished it. I was like,
Gotcha.
that was awesome.
You think, last question,
Yeah.
like, I'm trying to think of a good way to put it. For people that like to do like the Oscar death rate, people that like to watch all the
Yes.
Oscar movies, they're all over the place. Like, I don't think you could do just like a playlist or something of all of them for.
Yeah.
But like, wouldn't it be nice if there was just a website or just like one streaming platform? Do you think that we'll ever? Always gonna be sporadic. You can't find half the stuff.
Yeah. I think it'd be so cool. I was just thinking about, I just learned about the Oscar death race
Did you?
recently because I was doing like looking up just like Oscars
Yeah.
information for this. And I found the Reddit that they're like Oscars death race. And I was like, oh my gosh. I think it'd be so cool if like the Academy or like whatever governing body they're a part of or a company, like they could put a package together of like, I don't know. I feel like anything under $100, they could probably justify it. I mean, it's like I spent 15, $20 seeing a lot of these in theaters or like renting. So I feel like they could like pitch to like streaming platforms that have some of these, or especially if it's like independent or on YouTube. It's like, hey, we'll give you X% of this package if you give us the rights to
Right.
your piece and like let people watch it.
Like even at $100,
Yeah.
even not maybe 120, because like you watch right now Nosferatu, what Brutalist. I'm trying to think of Anora, Complete Unknown,
Yeah.
Wicked. That's $100 right there. Those are all $20 rentals. Or the what's it called? Nickel Boys is $20. Sings
Yeah.
$20. Like that's $140.
Yeah. They could probably go more just for like convenience, and especially the ones that you can't get like in the US and stuff.
Right.
I feel like
Wish they would.
untapped market here.
Yeah. Yeah. Investors, let us know.
Yeah. We'll get in on this. We don't own any of the movies, but we'll help you. We'll pitch it. We'll
We'll find a
bundle
way
it
to
up.
make money off of their work.
Yeah. Or we'll plug it here in the
Yeah.
get 10% off if
In the
you use
description
code
next year.
Better and Green. Yeah.
Okay. I think I said the last question, but I will have one more question. Are you going to be watching the Oscars?
Yes, I actually found a like event.
Okay.
It's in Dallas, so I'm gonna go into the city and hopefully dress up a little bit.
Dude.
Maybe get a cowboy hat.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Formal attire. Yeah.
Yeah. Your cowboy boots, your spurs, your assless
Exactly.
chaps.
Exactly. Only the best here in Texas.
Yeah. Do I valet for my horse? Do I leave them outside or do I ride them in?
Yeah. You got any hay? I need to fuel up.
It's a hybrid.
It's actually electric. You plug it in, it goes fast.
You plug it in. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode, or this live of Better and Green. 2 hours and 3 minutes. We crossed the 2 hour mark. Getting a lot of these movies. I mean, I think we worked just as hard, if not harder, as some of these entries. So we will be expecting our award in the mail. I will
Yeah.
saw it in half and send you half.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll be in the we'll be in the documentary, I think.
Yes.
Probably
Yeah.
best sound, I would guess.
I would assume. I mean, Amelia Perez getting all these nominations, like it just seems like this might be rigged against us.
These awards are there for the taking.
Yeah. All right. I would love for you to join me again next year. This was a lot of fun. I'll see you later.
I agree. I'll see you there, and also before then.
Yes, you will. Peace, guys.
Yeah.